Greetings and salutations. Hey, y'all. Hey, it is Wellness Work Wednesday. I am not Jay Lee. Don't worry. She right there with your part two. I got to tell y'all something first. Okay. Y'all go ahead, tag somebody in. Let's get into it. Let's go.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Kenitra Moselle, and I am so excited. We just finished up the book and brunch to launch my first book, Grace for This, the devotional. It's a 21-day journey for women who are growing through grief. The conversations that we had in here today was phenomenal. I want to let you know that GRACE is the acronym. It stands for Grief, Rest, Aid, Community, and Evolve. The reality of it is that we are experiencing a grief journey every single day. Every transition can cause you to grief, but are you leaning into your grief? Grieving is also exhausting, so I'm going to encourage you to actually rest. And when you're resting, rest is clarifying. You want to learn what you do and don't have capacity for anymore. And guess what? You're going to begin to ask with more clarity about exactly what you need. That C stands for community, because when you start asking for help, your people who are meant for this next season are going to respond to your ask, and your community is going to change. And then lastly, when you go through that grace journey, you're going to evolve to the next best version of yourself. So I'm so excited for you to be a part of this journey. You're going to love what we're doing in this community. Follow Kenitra Moselle and follow Grace for This on Instagram and Facebook.
You know, I really do like that little song. Like, I sing and dance every time. Every time that was there. I had to tell somebody in. All right, let somebody know that we are live. We part two is a language trap that is coming. But before we get into that, I absolutely had to give y'all a couple of updates. The first thing is, hold on, let me find it, because y'all already know. It's a picture for it, okay? There's a picture for it in all the places. So the first thing is, we are gonna give away. We're gonna give away. Shout out to y'all. I ain't announcing it right now. It's okay. But I want to let you know, you got a couple of more hours. At 8 p.m., we are going to drop the post that tells you whose name went into the drawing and who won, okay? So if you have not already, I got the stuff over here on the table. I got one more box coming. I probably will go and pop up later just so everybody can see the new journals and things when they get here. But I want y'all to go and share and just appreciate everybody who has been sharing. The bag looks amazing. The journals are getting ready to come. And can we shout out Crystal Lou as well as Lady Speak the Z, y'all, for adding to the bundle, okay? They added to the bundle. Y'all dropped them some love in the comments. Look, Sunflower, what's Lou? She lime green. I don't know what Lou's thing is. Probably it's an art. She's an art person. What's up, y'all? What's up? What up? How you doing? Hey, y'all. Hey, go ahead and tag somebody in. We just doing some real quick announcements. All right. So giveaway, we'll announce the winner tonight at 8 p.m. I want to let y'all know also that we had a Kingdom collab over the weekend. I had an amazing conversation about the technology of prayer with Cheryl Landry, y'all. She is GFT Baton Rouge. So if you missed that on Saturday, I want you to go to the YouTube channel and check that conversation out. If you feel like your prayers are right here and coming back down, if you look frustrated with prayer, if you're disappointed, if you angry, if you like bump him, he don't listen to it anyway, you want to hear this conversation that we had. All right. And y'all have a special code in your email for you to purchase this book at a discount. And GFT got a discount, y'all. So don't miss that. Going in there, shout out to Cheryl. Amazing. I'm trying to be in Louisiana in I think the end of July. Like to hear, here it go. All right, then. I would also like to say, y'all, we have done an excellent job with our tickets and our teas. Let me say, y'all have showed out, honey. Look, y'all was waiting on this, baby, because when we dropped that link and put it out, the little order started popping up in little pinking and all the little carrying on. All right. So if you haven't already got your ticket or your tea, go shop at our new store. You can go to graceforthis.net, hit shop, boom. And you can even subscribe to the store, y'all. You can subscribe to the store because we're going to have merch of the month every month. And we're going to be dropping stuff over there. So I'm just saying, y'all might want to get into it. Let me know which tea you wearing. Are you the blush? Are you the black? Are you the one with the arrows? Are you lifting weights? Just tell us who you are. But I'm excited about it. Get your ticket or get your tea or get both. Whichever way you fit in, we are super duper excited to see y'all. Okay. And then the last thing that I'm going to say before I pass the mic over so the language can give us stuff free. Is we got some pop-ups. We got some pop-ups. I'm I'm excited because these topics for the pop-ups, although they are not exact for the summit, baby, we finna get into some things. The goal is 30 minutes. I can't make no promises. Okay. I can't make no promises. Y'all, my sister, Ashley Avila of Avila Ivy Ops. Ashley Avila of Ivy Ops. Ooh, that's hard to say. Y'all, look, let me tell you something. Ashley helped me get some things together in 2025, and I believe that she can help your organization. She can help your organization. Okay, so she is going to be doing a breakout session for our leaders, and we're going to pop up. We're going to talk about, are you the reason why your team is toxic? What you said, Coach K? I said it. Are you the reason why your team is toxic? Period. Okay. Ivy Ops Solutions is in the building. Of course, we popping up with our sister Jerecia Lee. Look, getting unstuck is your work. It's a lot of, and I'm telling y'all this so y'all can tag y'all friends. Okay. I'm telling because we know this, but some of your cousins don't know it. And they keep coming to you talking, and you tired of talking to your cousin about whatever. Go ahead and tell your cousin to tag them in that good live, baby. Okay. And it's going to be on the Instagram, right? So getting unstuck is your work. And look, Coach Jerecia Lee has been over here walking us through that thing in the most beautiful way. Oh no, I'm missing one pop-up. And we also got our sister, Missy Washington. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. And then we're going to get into it. Which one is my Missy? I can't tell. Let's see which one it is. I'm going to try and see. But y'all know we got the Missy the Washington, who is going to be our panel moderator for the summit. She was in the thing last year. We love us some Missy, y'all. We love us some Missy. And so we're going to be talking about essentially like ministry work is also your wellness work. Like we can't skip on that. We can't skip on that. So we're going to touch on that as well. Just getting excited, getting in position, getting ready for all that God really is going to do in the space. Some conversations are going to be had, and we are here for the work. Okay. Right. So I want y'all to go ahead and drop it in the comments. Say I'm Grace for Impact. Okay. Go ahead and say that real quick. Grace for Impact. There we go. I see it's Missy. And notice the dates. These pop-ups are happening over this week and next week, right? We talking real big all the way up to the summit, okay? So just watch for those dates and those reminders to pop up so you could be in the room. If you're in our text community, you'll get all of that. I'm going to drop the text information across the screen there. Boom, pow, shakalaka. If you want to get all of the reminders, that is how you get opted in there. So it's time for Grace for Impact. Language traps is what we're getting into. It's going to be an amazing time. So I have given the announcements. I have said all of the things. I want y'all to know Jerecia Lee is coming to the stage. Go ahead and make some noise in the comments. The time is now. 100 Jerecia Lee, language trap of Journey with Jerecia Lee. Let's get us together. Sis, you have the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our language traps, stuck to unstoppable. We are doing part 2 of love. Last month we got into the conversation of love, and we only made it through 2 of the 4 sections. Excuse me. So today's goal is to get through the other 2. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jerecia Lee. I am the CEO of Journey with Jerecia Lee Consulting, where we help professionals pretty much move from being stuck to becoming unstoppable, and coordinating with different community agencies to kind of still bring that same energy in whatever avenue is keeping them stuck, or just bringing wellness workshops to them. So, if you guys are ready, we are going to jump in. I am going to do a quick prayer over this space and this opportunity, because I want to make sure that it is covered and blessed. Dear Holy Spirit, we want to say thank you. Thank you for allowing each and every one of us to come and be in this space. Thank you for those that are going to watch the replay. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to speak into your community, and you use me as a vessel to communicate the things that you need your people to hear, to help them move from being stuck to becoming unstoppable, and getting closer to you, and being a better person, and showing up in love in all things that they do. I invite you into this space. I release and submit my mouth unto you. I pray that everyone, eyes, ears, and mouth and mind is receptive to hearing the words that you have. In your name I pray, amen. All right, so we're jumping in. We're jumping into the word of love. Last month, we looked at love and how do we self love ourselves and making sure that we're showing up for ourselves and debunking some of those things that keep us trapped from showing up for ourselves. And then we also got into what it is and how we show love within. Thank you. Showing love within our friendships. So today, we're going to hit how do we show up and with love within our familiar relationships and then in our romantic relationships. So in the comments, you know how I like to get started. I want to know what, when I say love in your family relationships, what are your automatic thoughts, good or bad? And as you guys are taking that time to type in what is love or the first thoughts that you guys have as it relates to family relationships, I want to kind of relate it back to biblical. This one is Storge. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I love what this one actually means. And I think if we look at this definition within family, it may help us understand what we should be expecting and even acknowledging how we may have been disappointed and how it may be keeping us stuck. So it means familial like family, but it also means protective, right? So our family love is a protective type of love. I see we got cute and healthy. Okay, anything else as far as our family love? So if you guys are still typing, I'm gonna kind of give an example for me, just to kind of help jog some thoughts. For me, it did mean being there for each other. I don't think that I ever put two and two together. It was just a thing that happened. It was always, we spent a lot of time together, whether it was during the holidays, whether it was during vacation time, but we spent a lot of time together. Like we always had dinners, Sunday dinners, we always had Christmas dinners, Thanksgiving's dinner, celebrating together for Mother's Days and Father's Days, like the holidays. And then just coming together just to spend time together, the family reunions, like it was, family was very center for me growing up. I also see growing. Okay, so this family love, prospering, excuse me, ability to make deposits and withdrawals. I love that. So I feel like that actually goes back to when we was talking about friendship love, where we was talking about it being mutual and both parties being able to receive and gain something from that relationship. Okay. So family love, were you guys taught intentionally about what love was, or again was it just something of observation of how we show up? Me, again, it was an observation. There was never a conversation of, hey, well, this is how we show love, this is how we be intentional about showing each other love. I didn't know anything about the 5 love languages, and I know that one's typically associated with romantic relationships, but it does matter in your family relationships too. All right, I'm saying observation of show up. It was an observation. It was an I don't know why I can't talk today, y'all. I so apologize. It was an observation. Okay. So is there a difference between how you observed love growing up to now as an adult, how you expect love from your family relationships and family dynamics? Is there a difference? Okay, Vanessa Kelly, I see both, which is really good. Ooh, Latanya, I now realize that wasn't love. Okay. if you don't mind us getting into your business just a little bit and as comfortable as you feel, what are you saying that you observed growing up and now realizing that it's not love? Because I'm wondering if you're going to get into what one of our things that's keeping us stuck, one of the traps. Cassandra said she learned more from her grandmother. Okay. Cassandra said it was also a huge difference of what she observed versus what she now knows. Okay. So for me, my definition also changed too. I'm gonna kind of go ahead and say what the language traps are because I think it's important. I feel like I'm kind of skirting around them with not trying to get into it. But some of the language traps that we have in relationship to love and when it comes to our family is, but that's still your family. To me, that means that no matter what a family member does, they get a pass and they should always have access to us. That's a trap. Correct. Negative. All right, Latanya, I see you went back. My mom didn't say it, but we had grocery lights, a roof over our heads, so I knew I was loved. Okay. Okay. You was cared for. So it's being cared for, and some people do equate those as the same. Is being cared for the same as being loved? Right? Another language trap is blood is thicker than water. That sounds good. I see the notes already. If we look at scientifically, blood is actually thicker than water. But what does that have to do with my family relationships? All right, Cassandra, I see she showed more by cooking and giving to others. The letters she would write me, and I still have them now. Okay, so she was very intentional about how she displayed her love. Okay. Okay, I see somebody said blood and water are both equally disposable, in my opinion. You know what? I like that approach. Agreed. All right. No, ma'am. Blood doesn't always mean they have good. Ooh, that's a good one. Blood doesn't always mean they have good intentions towards you. That is absolutely correct. Okay. And then one other trap, and then I would like to hear some of the other traps that you guys may have been told to you as you were younger, but now you know is not accurate. So my last one that I have for the example is family comes first. Is there any other examples that you guys may have? Definitely a trap. Agree. Family comes first. And I think that goes back to what at Penny Proud said. Or was it at Penny Proud? Someone had said, no, it was Sakithia. Blood doesn't always mean that they have good intentions towards us. I love that she said, I learned that that's not always true as I got older, correct? If your family is unhealthy, that spirals. So here's the truth. And like you said, a lot of you guys are already learning and realizing that a lot of the things that we were told, I don't know if we were taught these things out of survival or what the source of these concepts really come from. But they can be absolutely detrimental. they can keep us in a negative state of allowing people access to us that do not know how to steward us. And so remember, we have to show our self love first. We have to make sure that we're good first before we try to help or show up for anybody else. So here's a couple of reframes, and then I'm going to talk about how I process and how I interact with individuals. And this one for me is for family, friends. It don't matter who you are. This is how I interact with people to make sure that I'm okay and that I'm showing up in love for myself first and foremost. The missing stewardship is a big indicator, absolutely. Family can be your worst enemy sometimes, absolutely. So how do we reframe some of these? Family is a role, not a free pass. I was having, this weekend, I was doing a presentation, and before I was doing a presentation, we was talking about identity, kind of, and they was saying that, oh, like being a sister is an identity, is who you are. And I quickly said, no, that's actually a role. Being a wife, being a mother, being a sister, being a daughter are all roles. And some of these roles I was born into, and some of these roles I chose to be a part of. I chose to be a wife, I chose to be a mother. But I was born into being a daughter, and I was born into being a sister. Right? So these are roles. I get to choose in these roles the access that people have based on how they steward me. Like I said, there is no free pass. My siblings don't get to disrespect me, or I'm gonna use the one that we always hear, but that's your mother, that's your father. How many times have you heard, either directed to you or you heard it around, but that's your mother, you still gotta love them because that's your mother? Or that's your father, you still gotta love them? What does love mean in those instances? Because love doesn't equal access. I can wish that you are well. I can love who you are and not like parts of who you are, and still not say you get access to me. I will love them from afar if they are toxic. Absolutely. We can honor our family without tolerating them. Right? Love doesn't equal toxicity. It absolutely does not. What does honoring our family without tolerating harm look like? Can anybody give an example? Okay. What does honoring our family members, a mother, a father, a sister, or an uncle, without tolerating harm to yourself? Because a lot of people, a lot of conversations that I've had is they was like, but I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to allow a parent to still have access to me, or an aunt to still have access to me, without feeling words or comments or behaviors that harm me, not hurt me. Limiting time spent together. Okay. I can love and respect and not be bothered at the same time. Okay? Deciding the boundaries internally first. Absolutely. And I can't remember how far we got into the discussion of boundaries. I know I said I was probably going to do a whole one. That's going to be one of the language traps that we do. But a boundary is for ourselves. The boundary is for what we are going to do and how we're going to respond when someone disrespects us. Not us walking to the room and saying, hey, my boundary is you don't cuss in front of me. We're now putting the responsibility in the other person's possession, and they don't have to honor it. Versus the boundary is, you know what? I don't like when people cuss around me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a conversation. Hey, so if you choose to cuss while I'm around, I'm just going to let you know that I'm going to go ahead and walk out because I can't be exposed to that anymore. I don't want you to think I'm disrespecting you or I have anything. Like, I just need to remove myself. So the boundary is really for ourselves and what we're going to do when someone displays a behavior, and not trying to put the ball in somebody else's court to change their behavior. Now the person can choose, oh yeah, she don't want me cussing in front of her, so you know what? I'm not gonna cuss in front of her. I'm gonna try my best. Or I don't care, like she can leave, I'm gonna cuss. Like, this is who I am. I'm not changing for them. So I hope you guys can kind of see the difference in setting healthy boundaries and realistic boundaries. And then the last reframe is chosen family is biblical too. You guys know I'm a big proponent of a support system. This is because sometimes our family can't show up for us in the ways that we may need at that time. They may not have the capacity. They may not have the tools. And so we may have to seek community outside to receive that love and support that we need to keep us grounded, to keep us accountable, to keep us moving forward. So I said I would go back and kind of talk about how I do it. And if anybody else can give specifics about how they're able to do that reframe and how they're able to put these boundaries in place that we was talking about. I feel like someone had a good one of, sorry, I'm going back through the comments because someone gave a good example of, I can love and respect and not be bothered at the same time. My question is how? Because a lot of us, or a lot of individuals that are going through this, that's where they're trying to get, but they don't know how to get there. So if anyone can give an example of their how, let me know. And I'm gonna kind of, again, give how I frame it in my brain and how I move to help me be able to set these healthy boundaries and making sure, that I'm okay. So I see that someone don't answer all calls immediately. Yep. I check with myself before calling back. Absolutely. I love to say somebody else's emergency is not my emergency. Especially when it's not truly an emergency. If no one is dying or no one is going to the hospital, it is not an emergency. So this is how I maneuver in relationships. And again, it's not just family relationships for me, it's in all relationships. I'm a big observer. So I'm gonna let everyone show me who they are, right? Without setting expectations on them, but who you are. How do you show up? How do you treat me? How do you treat others? Who you are. And then more specifically, how are you treating me? Because you may treat me differently than you treat somebody else, whether that's good or bad or indifferent. And so after I have observed how they are handling me, how they are treating me, how they are stewarding me, based on that determines the access that someone gets. I do not have the same relationship with everybody. Who I am in my core is I am a very kind person. I am very loving. I am, very caring. That's who I am at the core. But everyone doesn't get my 90% of caring. Everyone doesn't get that same access. One, I can't give that to everybody because I would be completely drained. But also, everyone doesn't know how to steward that. This kind of goes back to that friendship discussion. Is it mutual? If I'm pouring into you, are you pouring back into me, or am I just pouring into you? If I'm only pouring into you, then I'm going to pick and choose how much I pour into you, because I'm not going to empty myself to pour into you. And then, so now I've identified the access that someone needs to have to me and how they're going to be able to steward me. From there, if there's a mishandling or mismanagement of me, I'm going to adjust. You got one opportunity to mishandle me, and I'm going to adjust. I don't keep allowing people access to me to keep hurting me and keep asking them to show up differently or to do something differently when you have already shown me that you can't steward me well. So therefore, we're going to shift. Now, if after some time they're able to show that they're able to steward, because maybe they went through their own transition, right? Everybody is on their own journey. Everybody is going through their own things. And so people grow. And we got to be able to allow people to show up differently when they're in their growing space. So maybe after someone has grown, maybe they do get more access to me. But I'm in control of that, of me, not them, me. So based off of this allows me to love each and everybody. Like, I love you. But it doesn't mean you get full access to me. It doesn't mean that you get that full pass. I love you. And I'm also not going to be that self-erasing. I don't remember if you guys remember that conversation where we was talking about that self-love. Like, I'm not going to dim my light or be destructive to myself to show up for somebody else. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to jump over to the comments to see if anybody else put anything in there. I see Ms. Jayana said, we have to accept that a person can only change as much as they are able to. We can love someone and respect them with all of our heart, but we cannot expect our love. Ooh, this is good. But we cannot expect our love to transform them into the person we, she got the we capitalized, want them to be. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Everyone doesn't get full access to me like certain ones. Absolutely. Sakithia, my apologies. I'm not going to exempt myself to pour. Yes, I'm not. I'm not going to exempt myself to pour into you. We're not doing it. Access, communicate, adjust. Love the quick reframe. Hello, Crystal. Okay. So we talked about our traps within the family relationships, and then we also talked about how to reframe. How are we feeling? Are you guys ready for your journal prompt? All right, here's your journal prompt. I hope everyone got their pens and paper. And we kind of talked about it, so this should be kind of an easy prompt for you, but you may need to sit with it a little bit more. But what family messages about love did you inherit that no longer serve you? What about that? What stays in the house? What happens in the house stays in the house? Does that serve us? Does that family come first serve us? Are there opportunities and things that we have missed out on because we was waiting on our family's approval? We was waiting on validation from a family member to give us the go-ahead that God already gave us the go-ahead for. Right? So how have we limited ourselves or missed opportunities because family comes first, blood is thicker than water, but that's still your family? So Keithia, I'm assuming you're asking the prompt to be read again. What family messages about love did you inherit that is no longer serving you? So we got Jayana who says, I love my parents, but at a young age, I did equate love with obedience, when that is not true. You know what? That's a really good point. And I think a lot of parents, and I'm probably guilty of it myself, there has been times where I expected my child to be obedient, and either I unintentionally or even my child interpreted their obedience as being love. Because as a parent, when our child is disobedient, a lot of times we try to correct them. But how are we correcting them? I know for a fact, for me, I've had to have multiple conversations with my child of, if I did not love you, I would allow you to be out here doing any and everything that you would want to be doing. But as your parent, I have to put guardrails in place. There's things that I have to teach you because I want you to be a functioning, healthy adult. And so that may means that you can't do everything that you want to do. That may means that there's things that you don't understand, and I can explain it to the best of my ability, but also understanding that you don't have the experience yet to fully understand why that boundary is in place. I guarantee every single one of us here on this call, as a child, did not understand something our parents had us do, told us to do, but as an adult, we was like, oh, I get it now. I understand, right? And so how are we teaching our kids to love? Are we having conversations, good conversations about love? Because the things that we instill, and this is, we can see it as the adult, the things that we instill into the kids about love and life and everything is the exact things of how they show up as an adult, or the things that they got to unlearn as an adult. Look at us. How many things have we had to unlearn? And sorry, I know I went down a tangent, but this is where we went. One of the things, and I promise I get off the tangent, one of the things that I just keeps playing in my mind, and the crazy thing is I was just thinking about it yesterday, is that that whole concept of, and I think we've gotten away from it, but that concept of kids are to be seen and not heard. Or do as I say, don't give no talk back. We are teaching kids to be quiet. We're teaching kids to not have a voice. Instead, we got to teach them how to appropriately communicate, to appropriately discuss their feelings and what's going on with them, and even their frustrations. Just say, oh, you'll be all right, figure it out. No. Sit with them, walk it out with them, encourage them. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox about our kiddos. Okay. Y'all ready for the next topic? Our last one. We're gonna see how fast we can get through this one. We're talking about that romantic love. Eros. Passionate love. And so Jayana said, and that's also teaching blind conformity. Ooh, okay. If your child does everything you say when you say it, what's stopping another adult, possibly a dangerous one, from taking advantage of that? That is absolutely true. Okay? I love it. That is a reversal to that as well. We can't coddle our children out of fear. Yes. Oh my gosh. How many parents coddle their kids out of fear? I don't want them to. Ooh. Yes. Due to our past that bound them. Ooh. Based solely on our past experiences. Not allowing them to grow like a flower. Absolutely. I am a big proponent of natural consequences. We can't save the kids from everything. They have to learn. They have to grow. They have to experience things. They got to be able to problem solve. They've got to be able to figure it out on their own. We cannot coddle them, because then they're going to be coddled adults who can't make decisions. Who's going to be calling you at 35, Mom? How do I make my bed? What do you mean? How do I open the door? I don't know how to put gas in my tank. Well, I wanted them to. You wanted them to what? Okay, I'm gonna come back off of it. Coddled adults are dangerous. Absolutely, they are. All right. And speaking of flowers, if a flower is not growing, there is something wrong. Ooh, with the environment, not the flower itself. Jayon, girl. Okay. It's all I got. That's all I got. They have no critical thinking skills. What happens when we leave? Yes, they crash out. You talking about kids crashing out? Okay. So this romantic love. Questions. And I hope we can get through. We got 20 minutes, y'all. Okay, I'm not gonna stay stuck. We're gonna stay. Woo. Questions for you guys. How do you know that you are in love? Right now we're talking about these romantic relationships. How do we know that we are in love? And how do you show and receive love? How do you know that you are in love? And how do you show and receive love? They are absolutely showing out, and I'm here for it all. I love it all. So do we know that Eros is supposed to be sacred? Right? I know when to go the extra mile. So if Eros is supposed to be sacred, what does that mean? Okay, this Grace for this, Kenitra said, I share more intimate conversations. Love it. Okay. And I know you guys gonna get an A on this test. I got a quick test for you guys. Is love and lust the same thing? I'm still learning how to receive. I thought buying gifts was love. Even after being hurt or betrayed, my parents did that. Now, gifts is a type of love language, right? But is that how the other person receive it? So nope, no. Love and lust are not the same. They are absolutely not the same. In romantic love, there are 3 things that should be present at minimum, and there's a lot more. There's got to be consent. We absolutely got to have communication. There's a lot of romantic relationships that don't have communication. And in some instances, we don't have consent, right? Because consent to me means that I know what I'm signing up for. And when you have people showing up with their mask, we think we're signing up for one thing when we have actually signed up for something else. I did not agree to this portion of you. I didn't know this was who you are. I am still working on letting my guard down, but not rushing it. Lust is greedy and self-seeking, absolutely. But there's also got to be a covenant, right? There's got to be an agreement. So what are some of the traps that come out of this one? Whew, I don't know if you guys heard these, but I know all of you guys are going to be like, absolutely not. Love conquers all. How we feel about it? What's that one song? Was it Anthony Hamilton? Where he's talking about love paying the bills or something or another? Don't quote me. If the chemistry is strong, the relationship would work. Yeah, that song is good. I used to sing my little heart out to that song. If the chemistry is strong, the relationship will work. And I don't know, but for some reason when I see chemistry in this sense, I actually think lust. If the lust is strong, the relationship will work. And then the last one, marriage fixes everything. We just got to get married. Once we get married, everything will change. We will now be committed. We will now be on the same page. We will magically know how to have conversations. We will magically know how to problem solve. We will magically be on the same page. Magic. If that was true, the divorce rate would not be as high as it is. I don't know the exact statistics on people going into marriages thinking that marriage will fix it. Rebuke that spirit of error. Things will change when both are putting in the effort. And I love that you said both, right? Because then again, it goes back to the friendships. Is this a mutual? Right? It has to be mutual. Now, there may be absolutely times where it's kind of some ups and downs, but it should never be a time where one person is putting in 89, 90, 100% and the other person is putting in 20. They're just there. They may be giving you some lip service. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do better, I'm gonna try. Where's the action? Where's the action? Most of you guys know I'm a very action-oriented person. You could tell me something all day long. But until your behaviors and actions match, okay, cool. I hate the word chemistry. We often inflate our own confusion or lack of insight when we have no evidence or real intimacy. We reach for words like chemistry or magic because we have nothing tangible to base a feeling on. There's no examples of kindness or connection. Okay. She said it, not me. She said it, not me. So how do we reframe? So eros, love, is very powerful. True love, not the lust. And so we got to make that first distinction. Is this lust or love? Clear distinction. But it cannot sustain a relationship alone. Y'all shoot back to me the 3 things that we got to at least have at minimum. And again, these 3 things can't sustain us alone. What's the 3 things? What are the 3 things that I initially said that we need to have a good foundation for love? Consent, communication, and covenant. Reframing that chemistry does not equal compatibility. Just because I have lust for you, it does not mean that we are compatible. And most importantly, love requires skills, not just feelings. We talked about some of the skills we gotta have. We gotta have communication skills. We gotta have conflict resolution, problem solving skills. We got to be able to have empathy and sympathy. We got to be able to see other people's perspective. And I got to give a quote that I heard the other day, and that thing hit me. And so I hope it hit y'all like it hit me. But the quote that I heard the other day is a crush, so we crushing on somebody, is a lack of information. To me, it kind of goes back to that lust. Lusting after somebody is a lack of information. I don't know who they are. I know nothing about them besides they look good. I like the way they walk. They got a little swaggle. They got a little to that walk. I like that. They could be a jerk. They can be abusive. They could be arrogant. They could be insecure. They could be a gambler. Gonna gamble our whole life away. Right? So I know we on 9 minutes. The other quote that I like is that all of our feelings, so we can feel all we want to. All of our feelings are valid. But guess what? Our feelings are not always reliable. So we got to acknowledge our feelings. Right? Because we definitely cannot push them down. We definitely cannot ignore them. We have to acknowledge our feelings. But we also have to look at the whole situation and understand if they're reliable. It may not be reliable. Lust is a feeling, right? I ain't gonna necessarily say a feeling, but lust is right? But that doesn't mean that because I'm lusting somebody that I love them. Or that they love me. So we gotta start asking ourselves these important questions. All right, our last prompt. What's one myth about romantic love you've heard in church and culture that we need to release? What's one myth about romantic love that you've heard either in the church community or in culture overall that we need to release? All right, we got about 7 minutes. I just want to open the floor for comments for anything anybody has to say in these last little moments. I feel like I threw a lot at you. I know you guys were receiving it because these comments was on it. So any last things that anybody want to put out, any questions you want to ask as we close out this discussion on love that, kind of went over 2 months, but I think it was perfectly fine. Anything. Okay. Well, I don't know if anybody is typing. I'm remembering that to respect my boundaries so I can measure absolutely so I can measure properly. We have to start with respecting ourselves. And I don't know if you guys know, I went through a sequence, and I went through the sequence specifically. We have to have self-love first. The family and friends is a toss-up. We know that love, our first love and examples of love comes through family. But I like to start with friendship first because that's external. That's a choice, and it's sometimes easier for us to dissect the friendship love before we can come to the family love, because in actuality, it's the same type of sequence that we got to go through. It's just harder with family because we have those ingrained things taught about us. Family comes first. blood thicker than water, but if we can understand what we need in friendships, that can help us understand and identify what we can expect in family relationships. And then most importantly, what we can and should expect in romantic relationships. Because when we're in romantic relationships, that person should be our friend. If we don't like them as a friend, why are we dating them? Why are we dating them? In the church specifically, I have heard that if you do everything right, that God will give you a spouse. Oh, okay. Then she said, my religion is iffy, but I don't think we should only care about the rewards for following God and being a good person. We shouldn't care about the benefits, only have faith and strong will. Okay. Love it. And Kenitra is saying also lies. And I'm wondering if you're talking about her first piece, that if you do everything right, that God would give you a spouse. I love it. Yes, I was. And if you only connect for benefits, there is no faith. Ooh, just obligation. Okay, there you go. If you only connect for benefits, that is not faith. It is just obligation. Entitlement. Okay. Well, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I appreciate the conversation that you guys were having in the comment section that allowed me to really kind of make sure that this was hitting on and that, you know, it was relatable. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I will see you guys next month at this time. It is scheduled for the 4th Wednesday. I haven't chosen the topic. Actually, the topic has been chosen. But stay tuned to see what next month word we will be discussing. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys have a blessed day.
That was good, 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 good. We love y'all super duper big. Y'all stay engaged, stay connected. Look, I had to pull my laptop down because I needed to get in these comments. I had to type, y'all, period. That was so good. Make sure y'all are following Jerecia Lee. All of her details are in the description. So follow her platform, her page. She's got some amazing things that's coming. She will be in the building with us. She will be in the building with us next weekend for the Wellness Work Summit. So you get to meet her, come to her table, and you can even choose to be in her breakout session for the summit. Okay, y'all. So super duper excited. Look, if y'all don't know what's going on and you want to get connected, text the number right there. Absolutely pull up for the summit. Okay. Absolutely put up for the summit. We are putting the wellness to work. You know the things to do, but are you applying the things that you have learned? Remember, we have the conversations here. We do the wellness work here. That's what we are here for. That's what it's all about. But if your application is missing, you still will go into your assignment ill prepared and not stewarding well. All right, y'all. So life can be hard and your journey can hurt, but commit to heal so your story can help. Visit us at graceforthis.net. Learn more about us. And if today was good, donate to us. We are an organization that is on a mission to help the world get committed to a wellness regimen in 3 clicks. We got some things we building. We love y'all big. Thanks to Jerecia Lee. And we out.
Hello, my name is Kenitra Moselle, and I am founder of a beautiful community called Grace for This. We are about women taking ownership of their wellness journey in 3 ways: personally, relationally, and professionally. I'm inviting you to be honest about your grieving experience, your healing experience, and then lastly, your building experience. You're going through this because you're graced for this.